I just saw his message saying don't start. Oh well, it doesn't matter. I'll start it now. Hey everyone, it's Harry Paswords feedback with Eugene. And we have TJ's coming as well. So yeah, it's Friday, thankfully. And Spurs are a bit of a mess already, so I guess we'll start talking about it. So yeah, Bournemouth away. A lot happened, I guess.
Bournemouth away.
So much for waiting for me. You guys are hand rolls, bruv.
Huh?
What?
So much for waiting for me. You guys are hand rolls.
Hang rolls.
What's that?
I only saw your message
You
after
hear
I
it?
started it. Hello?
This guy, man, was meant to be starting the stream. Bruh, you guys just screwed me over.
What happened? You're supposed to show us something?
No worries, man. Fuck it.
Oh, you can still link it, can't you?
No, you
Is that what
fucked
you're
it,
trying
bro.
to do?
Yeah, you
Huh?
fucked it. You fucked it. You fucked it.
What?
No, if you want to do something right, you tell us earlier.
Nah, it's too late now, my friend. You fucked it. Let's start, bro.
It's
Can't
okay.
you
It's
still
okay.
link
We are
it?
all stressed.
It's too late, man.
But-
It's all right, man.
Why don't you get Has to link it? Pass it to Has and
It
ask
is
Has to
linked.
link it.
It is linked. Is your link now?
Yeah, no, it's fucked now. It's fucked now. Don't worry about it. Let's start.
Oh, okay.
Let's start.
Oh, it linked anyway. But anyway, Bournemouth away. Where do you want to begin? Yeah, where do you want to begin? Eugene? Do you want to talk about it?
All right. To tell the truth, right? I'm with TJ here. Right? I saw part of his after the review or something, right? I don't think we looked that bad against Bournemouth. At least we gave it a try, guys. If we had played like this, right, throughout the season, right, and we are still in the same position, right, a lot of fans would accept it. You get what I'm saying? Because you showed heart, you showed the the
desire,
guile, sometimes the speed, the desire, the intensity, right? If you had played this way throughout the season, right, and we are in this position now, the fans wouldn't mind. But guys, you only do it in, I don't know. Is it the player's fault? Is it the manager's fault? Guys, we are Spurs, right? We just won a trophy last season, and everything is up in the air again. What club does that? So I don't know. But one good thing is, I said this, right? I gave Enix 7 days. 7 days to bring someone in, right? Someone with experience, someone with quality, right? To bring us a step forward. But no. Now it's the 9th day or 10th day. And we've been linked to, there's a here we go by someone, right? There's a here we go, right? For Sousa or something like that, right? But
Sousa, yeah. I don't know who he is.
19-year-old defender.
Yeah.
So are we planning to sell? Wait, guys, just think about it. 19-year-old defender. Are we planning to sell VDV or Romero? Right? We know there's something really, bro. We know there's something really bad going on behind the scenes, right? Because we are the only club stupid enough, right, to be on a winning kind of feeling, right, and dismantle everything overnight. You get what I'm saying? The players are still attached to Ange. You get what I'm saying? Right?
Do you think so?
Yeah, that was my main concern. Yeah, of course it. Of course they were. All the fans, all the Spurs fans were devastated when Ange went. That was one of my main reasons why I was like, is this the right move for the squad? I actually said, yeah, sack. If we're gonna sack, I was saying, if we're gonna sack Ange, at least listen to what the players their opinions, because their opinions matter. And clearly we decided to sack him and we decided to point front. But yeah, carry on with what you were saying about the Bournemouth game, because I've got a lot to say about that game, to be fair.
No, to tell the truth, we played well. Our XG were high. We early in the game we were pressuring we had a few shots on goal. Yeah, we bro, we're Spurs, right? We still have our bozo moments, but at least our bozo moments, right, was it looks like a progress from what we've been watching. But
Of course,
you know, the inconsistency is too high. Linear, bro, that was, I don't know. Is he Brazilian?
Who? Sousa?
No,
This new signing.
Palhinha's
yeah.
Portuguese.
He must be Brazilian. The way he finishes and chances.
Yeah. He's got like 5 goals for us this season, I think. Something like that. Must be quite a few.
And the worst part is, right, we've got pillow foot strikers, right, who can't shoot the ball, right, unless they're like 5 or 6 yards just in front of goal, right? So, yeah, the players are shit, but if that kind of play was played from day one and consistently, right, we showed this kind of energy and desire, and we showed it in a couple of games, right? We've seen it that we can do it, but not often enough. That's the sad part. So I feel there's a bad mentality rift between the players who had that bond with Ange. They are having with Frank now. There's a rumor saying, right, there are 2 or 3 key players have already spoken to him. They're too defensive, right? And he still doesn't want to change. So, but of course, those are rumors. But rumors make the contact, right? Rumors make the contact.
Yeah.
But
you know what
I'm going to say about the Bournemouth game, right? One last thing. If he can play this way from now onwards, right, until the end of the season, I think the fans will accept it.
Yeah, cool. Nah, you know what? Let me be honest with you, and I actually agree with what you said in terms of the last segment. In terms of if he carries on playing the way we're playing, the fans could potentially change their mind about Frank. And I actually definitely agree with the fact that against Bournemouth and against Sunderland was a different type of performance. This type of performance was we did see quite a different structure. We attacked, and throughout the season we haven't attacked. We've sat back. It was a different style. It was a different way of playing. So in terms of Frank, is he adaptable? We can say, yeah, clearly he is. He's changed it up. Obviously it hasn't worked, right, in terms of on the pitch with the results, right? But in terms of all the criticism that I've had for him is he's too defensive. He doesn't want to try it. Last week we were on the show and I said my biggest frustration with Ange is the fact that he decides to play like a sissy. He decides to defend, and that's my biggest concern in terms of he doesn't really take risks. And clearly he was listening to my interview 2 days ago, so last week. And one thing I have to give Frank credit, that he has actually stylistically changed how he sets up, because we have attacked. Our XG is different. Our XG is above 0 now, that's
oh dear. guys come on
Nah, but serious note though, like
that sounds so pitiful. You kept saying above 0 now, yay.
Yeah, but let's keep it 100%. And I said this at the start when we were linked to Frank, and I said I didn't want Frank, and I made it clear. I've always made it clear I wasn't interested in Frank as a manager, and I just didn't see the purpose of bringing in a manager if the plan is to go for Poch. So you might as well have just given Ange a season, But obviously we went with the direction of bringing in Frank, and now we're gonna have to go with it. And I don't even think sacking Frank in this crucial time will fix the major problems within the squad, because look, we know there's massive problems. It's above Frank. In fact, any manager that actually comes to Tottenham will have to deal with these problems. And Romero said it. Well, Romero hit the nail on the coffin. He obviously changed his statement. So there's two statements that he's made. He said lied to, and he took out lied to in it. Yeah, but we'll talk about that later. But we're talking about Bournemouth, right? The game was just, look. It's difficult because we're not confident. You can see this team, Tottenham, the beautiful Tottenham that I support, are not a confident club. We clearly lack that confident style. That what's a good word for it?
To tell the truth, right? To be honest, right? We are a chicken shit club now.
Yeah, we are. No, factually, we are. No, we are. We lack that. I don't know. Is there a word for oomph? A good word for oomph? You know what I'm talking about? Like that heart, that bad boy mentality. We lack that. We don't have that within our squad, and it's showing because when we're going against teams that we should be winning, really respectfully, we're drawing, we're losing, and it's TJ. Bournemouth was aggressive because Gunners made them sour. Yeah, you could actually say that, but I'm just speaking about Tottenham in general. Tottenham
11 games. Well, so that
yeah, I'm actually just talking about Tottenham. Tottenham are struggling to all the questions of struggling to create chances. Clearly, we created enough chances to actually go ahead and win the game. And for me, the performance was, it wasn't the greatest, but I can see the. In a way, the style. You get where I'm coming from. I can see why Frank set up the way he set up against Bournemouth. It made tactical sense. Do you get where I'm coming from? Because if I was managing Tottenham with the players that I have, I thought the lineup was the correct lineup. Look, a lot of people would have questioned the midfield, right? But realistically, we don't have any ball sorry. Oh, so you're just please stop to. Yeah. Also, you man. See, this is what I'm saying. You messed up in it because I literally was gonna start with that's why I was a bit annoyed, didn't it? That I saw you guys were online. I was actually gonna start with something that I had before the show, but it's too late now, innit? We'll just do it next week, innit? Sorry, I lost what I was gonna say. No.
Game actually. No.
Before West Ham, I'll do what I was going to plan to do at the start of the stream, innit? It doesn't make sense me doing it now because it just makes no sense. Like, it wouldn't make sense in the stream. But going back to the game, innit? In our midfield, we don't have any ball retainers, someone that can actually progress the ball from the midfield to the attack. And you do see it because whether it's Polina and Bentancur or Archie Gray and Bentancur or even Bergwall, we don't have a ball retention player that can actually transition from the defense to the attack. So what you're seeing is our defenders actually making long passes and actual like for example Romero's wanted pass the ball from the defense to the attack, which kind of defeats the purpose of our midfield.
Yeah, but the thing is that, right, Romero ain't no Vertonghen or you get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I think Romero is really overrated personally, but that's just.
We'll talk about him later. Later, right? So,
it's more about his comments.
Look.
But yeah.
No. But look, but when it comes down to it, our midfield in terms of creating chances is a massive issue. We don't have any player like a Gallagher, because I used to be against this Gallagher signing, but now look at our club. We don't have any midfielder to progress the ball. Our midfielders are just lost. Do you understand? It's either they're defensive and it's affecting the balance of the Tottenham squad, because realistically, when you do lose the midfield battle, it's a big circle inside the defense. And you see, like, we have players like Paulinho that is good at gaining like possession and making the hardcore tackles, which you need that in a part of the actual structure. But when you're pairing him with Bentancur, for example, they're basically two similar players. Once they get the ball, what do they do with it? Nothing. So it nullifies our midfield. So our midfield battle is always lost. Against any team, we lose in the midfield. It starts from the midfield. And another thing that is really frustrating about the way Tottenham is playing right now, and again, I'm going to speak on this guy's name because I clearly don't want him in at my club. This is not to do with solely Bournemouth performance, but just overall the keeper situation. When you've got a keeper that struggles to kick the ball out, it causes a lot of problems to our midfielders, our defenders. You know, Vicario's passing is absolutely awful. You know, like let's keep it very real.
Yeah,
Lloris was bad, but Vicario is horrendous. You know, I would rather Lloris in the back of the net than Vicario. And this is not me hating on the player. I just feel like we need to step up in quality. That's my opinion, because when the ball comes back to Vicario, it's always a nervous action that he makes. Do you realize he either divings on the ball or he takes too long to actually pass it out? And really and truly, the goalkeeper should be really the relief. Do you understand where I'm coming from? When when a defensive player is under pressure, that's the extra option.
It's a very simple thing, right? If your goalkeeper, right, is already jittering when he has the ball, that jitter goes through the whole first 11. You get it, because they're already afraid that you don't know what Vicario is going to do. Yes, he can't ping the ball to me, and half the time, if you play it around the back, you'll get into trouble because we get pressed, right? And we don't know how to get the ball out. That's the problem. Midfield, I understand. You know what I'm saying? The only thing is that's why I keep telling you guys, right? Every time I see a lineup, I'm confused. You get me? As a manager, you should know how to pair them, like you were saying earlier. Sure. But it's what it is, right? So go ahead. Sorry. Yeah, sorry about it.
Yeah, and just the last thing I'm going to say, because I've spoken for quite a while. I also feel like this is a very good opportunity for our less known attackers like Teletubby Tell. And you look, he had ultimately a good performance, because you know what, we need to give these players more game time. That's one thing that I criticize with Frank. He hasn't been using what he has. Yeah, our squad is bad, and I'm not saying we have one of the best squads. I'm not saying that, but you have to actually use what you've got. Even like up to our strikers position, we've got Dane Scarlett. We've got players there. We have to use what we've got. And I'm not saying they're going to make a massive issue, but you see, when you rush players like Bergvall back, and you got criticized for rushing the players back. So we have to have the same energy, because clearly Frank doesn't trust our squad. He has clearly his favorites, and it's shown. It is shown. And yeah, that's all I'm going to say in terms of everything I took. If you want me to deep dive into like our goals, we can speak about that a bit after. But I want to hear what has to say about the performance.
Yeah. So I thought we were quite unlucky not to get something out of that game. Like, I thought we played pretty well. Again, what I found interesting was more like the midfield pairing that everyone's been against for 2 months, playing Paulinho and Bentancur together. I thought is our best choice there. And I thought that was good that he went with them, because we're playing away from home. I thought Tell had a great game. I was very surprised, but I thought he played really well. I thought Xavi, though, I thought he was probably the worst player on the pitch, if I'm being honest. I don't think he really affected the game that much at all. Like for someone who plays in the 10 position,
Yeah,
I expect a lot
he
more.
backheeled the first goal, bro. Why you got all this savvy head?
But I don't think he really like did that much. I know he probably got the assist, but like I don't think he really affected the game as much as I want him to.
See,
Like
before you
Val
carry
did
on,
too much.
wait,
Yeah.
but before you carry on, I just want to mention something about Xavi. Xavi Simons is not meant to be a player that we have to. He's meant to be a luxurious player. You see, like a Salah, for example, he might not do nothing, or even what do you call it, a Semenyo. Look, 90 minutes, he didn't do nothing, but in them key moments, he affects the game. And that's the type of player Xavi Simons is. So for everything that he doesn't do in terms of hard working, that's why I didn't want Xavi Simons. Personally, I wanted Paqueta. I told you this. I made it very abundantly clear. I wanted Paqueta. I need a hard. Yeah, I need a hardworking. I need a hardworking midfielder. You know, Xavi Simons is not our hardworking midfielder. Do you get where I'm coming from? So he's not going to affect the game, but he is going to affect the game in vital moments. But right now, Tottenham's squad, we don't need that type of player. We need someone that is going to take the scruff of the neck and actually
run the game,
dominate with the ball. But yeah, carry on. Yeah, but carry on.
And then, like the defense, I thought we did. I know we conceded 2 goals, but 3 goals. Sorry, but I thought on the whole we did all right. Like, I mean, Porro and Spence. The problem is that our performances aren't that much different, so it's hard to gauge, like, you know, what a bad one is, a good one is at this point, because it's all pretty similar. I thought Van de Ven was probably the best, and I didn't think it was a penalty, even though he gave it straight away. And then before VAR, I didn't think it was a penalty when it happened. He clearly dived. And Vicario, I mean, everyone knows.
Right? The first tackle that came
in,
right?
I thought we were hard done by in the game, to be honest. Like, I thought we should have got something out of it. Not necessarily a win, but I think a draw would have been a fair result.
That's the kind of game, right? Like you say, if we look like the one that was going to get the goal, right? And all of a sudden,
at the end, Van de Ven had that header as well.
There's one edge or clutch player that turns up and does it, right? That's the type of players that we lack. You get what I'm saying? So, yeah, we haven't found that kind of player yet. So we sold Harry Kane. This one is gone. We sold Sonny. He's gone. So, you know. Now I'm not gonna say it. We saw Ole, right?
Yeah. Before I get on to Sousa or whatever, the transfer stuff, and then Villa, we need to talk about this.
We need to talk about Van de Ven. No,
Romero's statement as well.
Let's talk about the separate situations. Let's talk about the Romero after the Van de Ven and Porro and the stuff. So let's talk about Romero after, because that's a whole different segment, you know. Cool. So
we're talking about right now. Van de Ven first.
Yeah, Van de Ven. Yeah, let's talk about Van de Ven clashing with the fans, you know. And can I start on this, because I have a unique view. Yeah, I actually have a unique view, you know. I think Van de Ven is right. We're all humans, you know, and your frustrations are important to be heard. You know, he didn't do nothing wrong. I think the away fans, in a way, have a entitlement to be frustrated to travel, because these guys traveled up to Bournemouth, you know. So let's not discredit the hard-earned money, the sleepless nights. It's one of them ones where we need to. It's 2 parts, you know. These away fans have traveled Timbuktu to see your performance, you know, and it's week on, week off, loss, draw, loss, you know, and it's starting to turn into a negative vibe. Do you understand where I'm coming from? However, one thing that I have to say to all fans, and I think this is one of the key things to actually speak about. Our frustration is with the wrong people. We shouldn't really be targeting our players. You know, our players represent us as fans. Yes, poor performances. Look, let's speak about poor performances. Van der Ven personally didn't have a poor performance, so for him to get criticized the way he got criticized was wrong. If you're going to actually be very fair, there were other players that had very bad performances, like Pedro Porro. I'm going to use Pedro Porro, for example. You know, if anybody should be getting the slack, would it be Pedro Porro? But it's not that. It's above the players, because you're focusing the blame on the wrong players. We have to support them in these dire moments, you know, because look, we know that the style is an issue. Yeah, we all agree with this. You know, the style is clearly affecting how the players play. We also can also infer that the problems are higher than the players. It's a part of our board, with the structure, because if you think about it, they're human beings, you know. We were speaking earlier about how they loved Ange, you know, and the group were devastated for his sacking, you know. And and personally, let me be honest with you, in a working environment, when things are not going right, for whatever reason, it's easy to blame the employers that are no, it's easy to blame you. The employers that can easily put the blame on you for not performing right. But realistically, the questions that we have to be asked go to the top. So I think the fans were out of their mind, in my opinion. It's a loss, but I ultimately saw Van der Ven put all of his effort in. You know, there was not one moment where I felt like Van der Ven decided to say, like, yeah, fuck it. Did you get where I'm coming from? Yeah. So for me, the energy that the fans have to the players is totally wrong, because the players are not, in a way, the players are basically the guinea pigs of the whole process. The energy should go straight to the ownership. The ownership are the ones that have caused this problem. You know, it's above these players. We have to realize that there's certain things that cause a ripple effect down the squad. And then when we speak about Romero, because Romero makes it even more clearer that the fans were wrong in this scenario. But yeah, carry on. I want to know your opinions, because let me be honest with you. I think the players were right.
TJ, I understand what you're saying, right? But I'm going to put it in the other way around, like you were saying.
Okay.
The players, right? The sad part is that the performance that's been put in all this while, right, has turned into a negative energy, right? The fans that go in and out, away, home, also part of the in and outs and all that, right? I think one thing we're lucky is that we don't have ultras anymore in the English game, right? You remember the ultras in Italy when the players were screwing up, the players had to go and answer to the ultras. You know what I'm saying? We don't have guys here. So these players, to tell the truth, they should understand that too. You know what I'm saying? They are the ones who are being paid the £100,000 a week.
I agree.
A week, bro. The guy that you're arguing with up there, right, is earning maybe what? Less than
triple.
You.
Yeah. It's true.
So there is a frustration there. I understand, right? But when you say yes, we all know, right? Yes. When that kind of frustration is at that period, at that time, you get me, and you get caught into it. It could go to anyone. It has happened to everyone, right? Especially
See, I agree with you.
We've been divided. We've been divided, right? All this while, you get what I'm saying? We've been divided all this while, and we'll be divided, right? How would I say it, right? No matter how bad it was last season, right? The away fans never that much turn until, you know, we've had our skirmishes and all that, but somehow or another, it's turning real bad now, right? Because the players are getting too involved. You know, you get what I'm saying? The players are actually getting too involved. You know,
what I was going to say, I actually agree with everything you've said. You know, like I said, I understand from a fan's point of view. You know, you pay your hard-earned money, and you expect a better performance. You expect
DJ,
and more passion.
So many times.
No, I agree. You expect that. However, this is where I feel like the frustration is lost in translation, because realistically, our energy should be focused on the owners. Our owners have failed us for 25 years. And it's not just this year. It's not like last year. It's not the year before that. It's not the year before that. It's not the year before that. It's 25 years of mismanagement, So it stems from the ownership. If anybody should be called out, it should be the owners. Realistically, because
DJ, that's why I've been manager don't care. When Ange, after the last time when Levy came and said we got a Tottenham back, that's when I really know. Before that, I really knew, right, that we are going to get conned. You get what I'm saying? We're going to get stuck again. We're going to get into this process again. Because like what you said, 25 years. So that's why my anger is not at Ange, not at the players, right? My anger now has to be reflected towards the owners, right? The fan base must understand this. That's why I said I have standards, right? My standard is to win the league. That's why Romero, VDV, and all these can go and argue with the fans, fight with the fans, whatever with the fans, right? In the end of the day, the club will still be there, but have we improved?
See, that's the key. That's a very key. You hit the nail on the head. That's my stuff. I have standards as well, and I've ultimately realized that it's not the manager. I've said this already. Sacking Frank won't change the problem. I've already said that. That don't mean I'm supporting Frank. So let me make that clear. Sacking him does not change the scenario, but even keeping him, that doesn't change the scenario. Realistically, the problem stems by the owners. Now, for a player like Van de Ven, we're obviously going to talk about the clash, A certain fan has obviously said certain things to Van de Ven. But in my honest, humble opinion, and I know how I act. I'm from the hood, innit? You know how it goes, innit? Disrespect is not tolerated for me. I don't care if you're a footballer. I don't care if you're a teacher. I don't even care if you're a manager. When you cross the line and it's disrespect, let me be honest with you. Van de Ven is right to act the way he acted. Because let's be so clear. The stick was going to Van de Ven.
Yeah.
It wasn't going to a player that performed bad that day. That's the narrative. The narrative is Van de Ven was one of our best players on the pitch. He was
one of our best players on the pitch.
He was a better player.
Yeah. So for me, this is how I see it. This is how I see it. I see it like this. I'm human being. Van de Ven is entitled to express his frustration. Yes, he's in the spotlight. Yes, it's going to be deemed as being negative. Yes, as you said, Eugene, the players are getting involved when they shouldn't be. There's no respect of we traveled here and there. Yes, I agree. But when the disrespect turns into it's one thing to take disrespect, but for me, I know my character. When I hear something, it could be just me walking on the street, and if someone calls me a monkey, bro, we're scrapping. Or I'm gonna be like, say that again.
You know what I'm gonna say about this, right? Where was our manager, right, when this all was happening?
Exactly.
He should be there, right? Standing between the player and the fans. He should be answering, not the players. Get the players into the dressing room. You get what I'm saying? So where was our manager, right? That's my question. Why wasn't Frank?
But this is why. I mean,
in the end, it ended with Paulina diffusing it, right, or something like that.
But this is why I wanted. I mean, it was never going to happen. Also, I wanted a Dyche type manager. I mean, he's gone to Forest now, but because I thought we were going to be in this sort of situation, maybe because we did finish 17th last season, we did struggle a lot, and we didn't really. I didn't expect us in the summer to go like ham by like 7 or 8 first teamers. We were lucky to get 4, and 2 of them were loans. Like we know how Levy, like Enoch and Levy, whatever, Levy was still there, work, right? So that's why I was more pushing that. But It doesn't like we're going to get someone like Daesh. But for me, in terms of the situation, I kind of am in two minds about it, because I kind of with you, TJ, in terms of like with the human standpoint, like, Van de Ven has every right to say something back, because I mean, if it says something disrespectful, then like, you just say something back. But the problem is, I think that scenario was just it's not like a manifestation of what's going on with us. Like, we're literally in civil war. I think the club inside, not us,
Exactly.
not us.
Divided. This is what the club has done. They purposely divided us against us.
Like, we're in civil. Fans might be in civil war as well. I mean, I don't know. I don't.
No, but the civil war. See, this is the issue. Sorry, I'm gonna let you carry on. The civil war is correct. We are in civil war, but the frustration is focused at our players, not our owners, and this is where I'm against. No matter
why it's all focused on our players, because us YouTubers go on YouTube and tell everybody in the world that our players are shit.
And see, that's an issue as well, because we're a part of the problem. It's true.
And then they'll complain, where are the first team players? That's what our fans do, man. They sit there and say Bergval's the next, I don't know.
See, and can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question? Because obviously me and Eugene don't really go to games as much as I haven't. Yeah. I went to a game recently, but we don't have our season ticket. Yeah, but we don't go to games as much as you do, innit? Yeah.
I don't go to games at all.
yeah, you're on the other side of the universe. Yeah. But in terms of like this is why I want to direct this question at you, Has, isn't it? Yeah. Obviously, you pay your hard-earned money, and if you saw a player come, like, give the fans this negative.
It not only should be the players and the board. It should be the players, the manager, the board, the recruitment, all of them.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. You're right. You're so right. That's right. But the question I'm going to ask you, Has, isn't it? Yeah. Obviously, you pay your hard-earned money, and you've got your season ticket, right? Now, if this scenario happened in front of you, and you saw Van de Ven come to you, and obviously, well, not come to you directly, but has obviously come with that beef energy to the fans, isn't it? Are you seeing it like how I'm seeing it, where I'm saying like the disrespect was, it's obviously gone past disrespectful, and now it's like, yo, I want to scrap you. Come outside, because that's what Van de Ven said. Like, bro, Van de Ven turned into me, but I'm like, yo, forget the talking, bro. Come, jump on the pitch. That's what he said. He actually said, yo, forget the talking. Come on the pitch.
When Dyer ran into the stands, though, do you not remember that? When he said
and I defended him. Remember, I said he's entitled to do that. You know what? Disrespect. See, maybe it's the way I've been raised and how I've been raised.
I understand that kind of scenario, but what I'm saying is that at that moment in time, everybody was heated up. Everybody was. I mean, we lost, right?
Emotional,
in the 95th
emotional,
emotional, right? So it is what it is, right? So that's what I'm saying. We have to move on from this type of things, because the clash will be the clash, right? If the players put up a performance, right? To tell the truth, the performance was there for the game, right? And for what Romero came out to say, right? Romero has been doing this for a long time. When Conte
Romero was bang on the money, the money.
Yeah. So that means he's saying the obvious thing, right? We all know that. That's the sad part, right? The sad part is that a lot of Spurs fans are deluded, that they don't understand that is that we all know that, right? It's not.
But Romero,
it's not.
No, but see, this is the thing. This is the thing. No, but this is the thing that I say for Romero. No, but this is the thing that I say for Romero. He was bang on the money, because after all of this craziness between Van de Ven and the players and the fans in it was happening, he said it straight away. He says, "I'm sorry." He said something along the lines of, "Look, I'm summarizing. You guys have obviously read it, but I'm summarizing." He did say sorry. We've heard 100 sorries, right? But he also said, "It's not just for me to say sorry. It's for certain people to also say sorry," right? He said it clearly. And then he also said, they have been lying to us. which also tells us that the narrative that a lot of people are throwing the players under the bus, when yes, some of them deserve to get thrown under the bus because some of them, their performances is all, they clearly don't want to be at Spurs. So
TJ, I think I come to the conclusion. Romero has found out that Vina is still Gunnar and he's there to sabotage him. That's the lie.
Nah, you know what? The different, I see it in a different light. I see it like this. I think Romero spoke up in a vital moment because Van de Ven just had beef with fans, right? Now, as a captain, and see, this is the thing, whether you see it as a Conte moment, because Conte, let's make it clear, Conte's statements were all true. Everything that he said in his statements were all true.
Wait,
he didn't lie.
It was true until last year.
Last season.
Yeah. Last season. It was true
until last season. Yeah, right. That's right. That is right.
20 years.
20 years, yeah.
Not winning anything.
Yeah, it was true until last season. But what I'm trying to say, when Conte done what he done, you know, and they sacked him for what he done, and he said, it was all true. I'm using, everybody's saying, is this a Conte moment? No, I'm saying it like this. Romero is saying, yes, we are to blame. This is how I took it. We are to blame. He even apologized. He said, listen, I'm giving it all, or something like that. If you read it out, yeah, he's saying he's sorry. He didn't say, I'm not to blame. He said, I'm to blame as well. But the blame is not solely on me. And for me, he is speaking factual facts. For me, Romero, he's our captain. And I think it's so important for someone like our captain to stand up and say what he said. Because for me, it's gone toxic. It clearly is. It's clearly toxic. Nobody's happy. Everybody in the Spurs community is frustrated with our ownership. I actually believe right now is a vital moment for us to get these fools out. I think we need to bring back the protest. The protest can only change all of this.
Over there too, right?
The Enid family have failed. Have failed. They have failed so many years after year after year after year after year, and we keep giving them leeway. And realistically, nothing is changing. We thought getting Levy out, and remember I said this when we got Levy out. My biggest fear is the fact that I got the wrong person out, because in anyhow, I feel like we obviously Levy was the face of the club. Yeah, look, I had the energy. I want to Levy out as bad as you guys. Yeah, but my biggest concern is if we get Levy out and he's not the issue, we have a problem there.
We have to change it now, bro. Okay, I'm going to tell you this, right, before I go, because it's going to be 2:30 here in Malaysia, right? This is my turn to say it, right? Whatever has happened, right? Like what we all said, that the energy is focused in the wrong direction. Romero has come out to say it, it's the fact. Conte has said it, it's the fact, right? The only thing is that it's for our fan base to wake up, to know what kind of standards do you want. Do you want to win the league? Do you want to be just fourth? Do you want to be languishing like this now? Or do you want to be relegated? It's up to us, right? So we have to voice our dissent. I'm in frigging Malaysia. I can't do shit, right? The only thing I usually can do is, right, when there's a protest, I'll put it on my channel. And thanks to guys like you, Has and TJ, if you guys are there, you come on live, right, to show it off, right, for the Spurs, Asian Spurs, them to watch. Whether they watch it or not, I'm not sure. If they watch it, there are a lot of people who understand the scenario. We all know the owners are the problem, right? But the thing is that we all will always say this, right? Bro, it's taken me 5 years. It's taken us 5 years to get Levy out, right?
Just
we all knew, right? We all knew the problem wasn't Levy. It was ENIC. The test was to see that we can succeed in getting Levy out. If we can get Levy out, right, that means we have pressed some right buttons last season. But last season, the scenarios pressed that button until the end for us. It played all well in because we were losing games all the time. That's why I keep thanking Ange. You keep losing, right? You building up the Levy out falling, right? That's what he was doing, right? So that's why I thank him for that, right? I'm thanking Ange for actually getting Levy out for us and winning us a trophy.
Right? To be fair, it's right. You are right. 5
years to get Levy out. We knew ENIC is harder to get out because they own 80% of what 80% ENIC owns the whole shebang. right? Then it's another what call 70-30 or some shit like that. So they are
I think
the
League
majority
owned like
shareholder.
30% of ENIC or something, wasn't it? Or something
Yeah,
like
something
that.
like
I
that.
can't remember what it was.
So
Yeah.
we have to focus now on ENIC out. It might take us
Yeah.
another 5 years. It might take us another 10 years. You get what I'm saying? Right? The only thing is that we must keep up the fight and show that us fans, we want standards. We need, right, to see things with our own eyes, right? This transfer window is the best chance, right? If they go out and sign a D'Souza, a 19-year-old defender, good for you, right? Another potential. We are not Chelsea, right? We are not Binance FC, right? We like hedging on crypto, buying and selling players, right? With a couple of $1 billion as spare change. You understand? We must figure out how to run this ball game. And to tell the truth, the Lewises, I think after what they've seen, the real money, I think they're shitting in their pants because they will at least have to pump in at least 500 million pounds of their money to make this club, right, reach back to the standards, right, to bring us to top 4. That's all. And that's not even challenging. They're going to spend more money if we're going to challenge. But if we as fans don't have that standard to challenge to want to win the league, then we'll be stuck at where we are. Win a couple of trophies here and there in about 17 to 20 years, 1-2 trophies. Do we have that much time to do that? Right? I'm frigging waiting another 15 years to see my next trophy, bro. I'm 58 now, right? I'll be 73. I might not even be here by then. Right? So all I'm gonna say now, focus is very simple. Must show our owners our dissatisfaction. Simple as that. Like I said, the drum of ENIC out started to beat, right? The drum.
No, I think no, you're right. You are definitely right in terms of we have to.
TJ, I think there's a hey,
Phil's coming on. Hey, Phil, you're right.
I'm good, man.
How you been, my friend? How you been?
Good, man. I'm good. How you doing? Nice to see you for the first time, TJ.
Happy New Year.
Nice to meet you, man. Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what we're talking about now, Romero. We're talking about Ramman Romero.
I'm doing my closing statement before I make a move.
Okay,
right?
okay.
I'm just saying we have to focus on ENIC out now. That's all. Right? If ENIC doesn't show the ambition that I want is winning the league, they have to go. Right? So big up Phil. Right? Good timing. Right? As I take off. Good substitution.
That's what Frank needs to do, man. Frank needs to make some substitutions like that, man. Just like.
All right, guys, take care. Right.
See you later, my bro. Are you doing a watch along?
Yeah, tomorrow. Oh, sorry, guys. Yeah, tomorrow I'll be doing watch along for the. And my prediction for Aston Villa.
We're home. 5:45. 5:45 English time.
Yeah, 5:45. That's about 1:45 for me, so it's still quite okay, right? Yeah, 1:45.
Yeah, that's been a long day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it right? But thanks. Right. Don't forget subscribe to Asper TV, right? And Into Spurs, right? And Spurs Vision TV, guys. Right. And as always,
see you later, man.
Out. Beat the drum.
Leave you out. Well, ENIC out, man.
Yeah.
ENIC out, man. Yeah. So what we were talking about was the Romero situation. What's your opinion about it, man?
The Romero. All right, I'm gonna say it now. Yeah. Back in the day, yeah, players used to do their talking with their feet, man. I don't like players coming out there in the press, yeah, and just running their business in the press. Yes, he had a point, yeah. That, and I said this to Has actually on Monday, that the club itself, yeah, tend to talk their big talk in September when the window's just closed, and when the window's open, they seem to do a runner and they seem to be missing. But for Romero to come out and say something, yeah, first and foremost, make sure that you've got something to stand on before you say it, because he had some bad performances this year. What if the board had called him out for some of his shocking performances this year? Look at the Liverpool game, for example. Yeah, look how he got himself sent off. That's not a captain material there. There's young players in that team that they need leadership, not somebody to go off the edge and get himself sent off. That's not it.
So the question I'm going to ask you then, obviously you've seen what he's posted on his Instagram, and he's called out the ownership. and obviously I'm I'm in agreement that he actually said everything that needed to be said about this ownership. You know, he actually took he even said sorry, the performance wasn't there, but he said there's other people that need to speak up. Do you feel like this is gonna cause drama within the hierarchy? Like what do you think is next to Romero's career? Do you think now that's the Conte? A lot of people are saying it's the Conte effect, and this is it for Romero.
Well, first and foremost, it's more difficult to get rid of a player than that is a manager. A manager can just pay off in it and get rid of them. If they start pinning them up against the board, you can get rid of them. A player is a different concept there because you're looking at having to get a bid for that player to get the player out. That's the problem with the difference between the player and the manager. But I agree with the words that came out of his mouth. It's just the timing of the words that came out of his mouth for me. There was no need to do it there and to air the dirty laundry in public. But this is Spurs, yeah. Spurs have more drama than EastEnders. I'm sorry, I've always said this. There's more drama going on Tottenham Hotspurs than an episode of EastEnders. It is so every week we're expecting a drum roll at this club. This is how bad it is.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, you are right in terms of the timing wasn't great, the greatest. I'm a bit different because I feel like we needed this to happen. You know, I felt like for so long nobody has spoken up about how poor this ownership is. You know, for 25 years we have been run down, and even up to like last season, like well, the only other manager I can think of that like went at the board was obviously Conte, and you saw how that ended, right? But for Romero, I felt like his intentions were. Oh yeah, go for it.
Can I correct you, mate? Go for it. Before Conte, there was Mourinho, and there's a statement of Mourinho that I do love to say: different managers, same players, same result. So if you can change your manager, if you bring in this player with the same quality, then you'll have the same results that you have with the next manager.
Other managers. Yeah, right. True.
And that is Mourinho. That is a quote from Jose Mourinho, and that's before Conte came into the football club. And I even go back to Pochettino. When I asked for washing machines, they gave me tumble dryers.
Yeah, I remember that.
So they have called out the club before. You've just done it in a more diplomatic way than Conte. Conte just done it out front. Yeah,
but you know what? Yeah, but you know what? Sometimes you need to have that like bad man vibe in it. You know, sometimes you know what? I'm from the hood, innit? Yeah. So maybe the way I process things is a bit different to most people, in it. But my mom used to tell me like certain things, and it just flew through my head, you know. But you know what actually taught me was the belt. Sometimes you need to see the badness. The badness shapes who you are. And you know what? Look, I'm not personally, I don't have no kids, so I don't know how I'm going to react when I do end up having kids. But it shaped me to be the person I am today. So sometimes, look, I'm just using that analogy, yeah, maybe it's hard for the fans to hear it, because really and truly, it's one of the worst times to have all of this drama after Van der Ven was clashing with the fans. The next minute, Romero has done this statement. The next minute, all the squad have liked and post and agreed with Romero, you know? Maybe this is the catalyst for change. I'm not saying it's going to bring change. You know, true change, let's be so honest with you. True change is new ownership. Yeah. That's for me. That's true change, right? But maybe this is going to be a kicking the Enix family's ass, because realistically, when you have a player, your captain calling you out, I'm sorry, but you man have lied. It's damning. It's damning, and maybe this is what we needed as Spurs fans. Maybe this is going to shape us better. Who knows?
Well, first things first. Go on,
Romero. I think part of it is like a all players thing, but I think part of it is also because of him. Because when he signed his new contract, you know, he took away the line thing. I think it has something to do with the fact that they promised him something in terms of like players, money being spent on players, maybe to like, and they told him, you know, you sign your new contract, you become the captain. Because remember, there was a lot of doubt over whether Romero was going to stay or not.
He was going to stay. Yeah, correct.
They must have promised him something, and clearly he sees it as a lie because they promised him, say, you know, we're going to go sign world-class players, for just as an example, but we're clearly not. And I just think that statement was partly that as well, and also because of like he wanted to take the pressure off the players by
just to add a little bit to what you're saying, and also I also think it's ambition as a player like Romero, because clearly he wants better. He clearly wants better. If Real Madrid came calling him for Romero, do you think he will stay? No.
If Atletico come to Romero, he would go in a heartbeat. If Atletico Madrid is the one that I'm looking at. If they came for Romero, he would go in a heartbeat. For me, he's got no loyalty to Tottenham Hotspurs, right? And South American football in South America, there's a lot of Spanish football in South America is very popular. A lot of them grew up watching Real Madrid, so it's a popular league over there. So
of course.
So I would be expecting Romero to want to go to somewhere like Atletico Madrid. There was talking in the summer of him going to Atletico Madrid, but no bid came, and then they signed a new contract. And I agree with you. There were promises made to him, but this is ENIC, TJ, and ENIC have lied for a long time, man. The stadium.
So he's So then this is how I see it. Maybe I see it differently. Maybe he's entitled. Because if I was in Romero's shoes and I felt like I've been lied to, and we don't know behind closed doors, he's probably had the conversation multiple times with these ownerships, and it's clearly not getting to their head, right? We're only seeing the surface level of him posting what he's posted, right? But realistically, we don't know what's happened behind closed doors, because behind closed doors, he could have been said, look, by this time to this time, I need to see true change. If I'm signing this contract, I need to see true change, not just for his ambition, because we see it as, they're footballers, but this is their future as well. Romero's not getting young. Let's make it clear. He's not getting young, you know. And if for someone like Romero and his quality, look, whether you think he's a great player or a bad player, you know, for a player, these moves for their career are very vital. So I don't blame him for spilling the beans, in my opinion, because there's no other way to get
false promises. And I do think he partly was trying to take the pressure off the players after the incident that happened with Van de Ven. I think he was trying to just say we're with you, like the fans, we're with the fans, basically. We're against, like, you know, and inadvertently, because he was against what's happened with the board now, like they kind of were agreeing with fans in a sense. I don't know. I actually think it will help.
100%. You know, no, can I say, you said something really key. That's what I was trying to kind of like come across when I was talking about the frustration is focused in the wrong areas. You know, when Van de Ven obviously went over to the fan, and obviously they had that back and forth, and even whatever the fan said and Van de Ven said, you know, the frustration and the focus is on the wrong storyline. The story should really be focused on ENIC and ENIC's family. And for Romero to say something after this whole event and post something damning that they have lied, clearly is telling us that our ownership, the way we're run, is corrupt. And to be honest with you, I can't blame someone that is ambitious because I'm seeing it from this perspective. I believe that Romero is ambitious. I also believe that his promises were lies, you know? I also believe that not just Romero, there's other players in this dressing room, because you saw it. Horo liked it, Richarlison done whatever he done, whether you like him or not. You had quite a few other players like Nicole and all of this, you know? Clearly, between the board and the players, there is this friction.
Disconnect.
Disconnect. And the only way we can find this out is if Romero puts it up online. And for me, I think personally, I rather know what's happening within my club, because for too long it's been lies. 24 years, it's all been lies, man. Look at where we are right now. When we set up Pochettino, for example, go for it.
No. I'm going to say I agree with you. It has been lies. It has been lies, but this is why you have to read between the lines of Tottenham Hotspurs. There's very little belief. There's very little things I believe. Right. First and foremost, what I would say to anyone is, what's tangible Tottenham Hotspurs to actually believe in, TJ? In your opinion, what do you think is tangible? Because I can't see anything, to be fair.
When you say tangible, can you elaborate? What do you mean by that?
All I'm seeing right now, TJ, is hopes and dreams. I hope this player can get to a certain level. If that person can get there, there's nothing that's tangible that you can say, look at them and say, well, your quality.
There's no direction.
There's nothing there. I look at the team itself here, TJ, and you must have seen me in other shows. I've said this multiple times here. This team is reactive. You can actually see some of the players here. They don't. None of them have the ability to put their foot on the ball and control the flow of a game. None of them do that. So when people say, "Oh, we don't attack," how come we don't play good at home? None of our players scream that they're good on the front foot.
Yeah, true.
And for me, that tells me that you're a counter-attacking team straight away. But this board doesn't know whether it's going attacking or defensive. They'll hire a manager, all right, and you can see it's a halfway house. There is no plan in the football club whatsoever, right? And I think it suits the board to have no plan, because if there's no plan here, they can basically charge the fans whatever they like without any accountability from them. That's what I'm looking at.
No, I agree. And you said something very, very, very key. You know, I don't know why we have another conversation, because I think most of the things you're speaking is on my level. You know what? I'm one of the younger fans. You know, in all my time supporting Tottenham, there's only one moment that I actually listened and I realized this is the plan. And whether you like to hear it from that person, it was last year when Levy done that interview with what's his name? What is that guy's name?
Vinay.
Vinay, yeah. That's what his name is. Yeah. Sorry. And he said the plan is to win titles and Champions Leagues or something on the lines of whether you believe in it. Whether you believe that, that's the first time in all my life. Look, I don't know about you guys. You guys have obviously been supporting Spurs longer than me, but the first time I have had concrete evidence that this is where we want to go, and this is a standard I should judge Tottenham at. Because realistically, we haven't had any. We don't even know what our future is like. And now, and this is how I see it. Look, I wanted Levy out. I was big on this Levy. I was on the protest. All of this. Yeah, I wanted Levy out, but as soon as Levy, whether you saw it as a lie, whether you saw it as the truth, whether you thought he's just saying it to save to please the fans, as soon as Levy has mentioned we want to win the title and we want to win Champions League, what ends up happening to him next? Sacked. In my opinion, he's still his shares are still at Tottenham. Yeah, nothing has actually changed in terms of he's stepped down, right? But that's what I'm judging based on the plan, and clearly we're far from that plan.
Right,
we're far from that plan.
First and foremost, that statement he did with Vidna, right? Over the years, I've learned business, and it's a technique called the SMART technique. When Levy did his statement with Vidna, he gave no time frame, TJ. So this could be 25 years. No one knows how long a piece of string is here. This man gave you no time as to when the goal of winning the Champions League and the Premiership is. So you can't really hold that man accountable, because really and truly, without a time frame, like I said, this could be 50 years. You just don't know what their plan is. So, like I said, it was a very open statement that Levy made. This is why.
Yeah, but what you can infer is you're seeing the building blocks to that, right? So, look, I'm not saying it's concrete. I'm not basing my whole understanding of what our future is. That's going to be next year, in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years. No, but you can see the building blocks towards it, you know. And a bit about me, I didn't want Frank. Let me make it clear. You know, I never wanted Frank. I didn't see why we hired Frank. I was against Frank coming in. And in fact, sacking Ange, yes, I said, yeah, just give him the next season because who knows, right? But I ultimately knew Frank had to go. Now, going on to hiring a future manager, you need to look at a few things. You need to look at what they've done in their previous job, what success rate they have, and if they have any evidence of actually proving that they can get towards that goal. And Frank was the wrong appointment. I wanted Glasner personally. That's my honest, humble opinion. But I wasn't too fussed if Ange stayed that next season, and if that next season turned out to be like how this season was, yes, sack him. You know, I ultimately think that we have no plan, no structure, no way to actually. I don't even know if we want to go for the top 4. You know, once upon a time when we were a club that had ambition, at least we thrived for the top floor. Every single year, our goal was top 4. You see my point? Right now, there's no structure. I don't even know if it's a cup club. You know, at least when they hired Ange, his pedigree before him coming to Tottenham was he's won everywhere he went, right? So at least I could get behind that. I could say, you know what? Look, ultimately, when Ange came in, I was a bit shocked. I was like, who the hell? Like, why are we going from? And then when I've done my research and I realized, yeah, he's won wherever he won. He's gone, you know, and it made more sense. Do you get where I'm coming from? Yeah. But we sacked Ange, so clearly cups is not what we're thriving for. So what is the plan for Tottenham?
Right, first and foremost, yeah, if you look at the team, yeah, the team is mismatched with so many different managers that have been here before. But what I'm gonna say, yeah, is there's gonna have to be a period of stability, TJ. There's been no stability in this club whatsoever for so many years. Right now, yeah, we've got so many young players here that need a coach and need somebody to lead, someone to be able to coach them and lead them. That's what I'm looking at. When I looked at Thomas Frank here, I said, right, Thomas Frank, you've gone into Brentford, you've stabilised Brentford, you've made them a proven Premier League team from the Championship. You've got them promoted, you've kept them in the Premier League, and you've stabilised them, yeah. And they're set up for the next manager who comes along. If he goes along the same principles as you do, then you've got a well-oiled machine, and they can just keep going, right? When you look at Spurs, yeah, we've got. Like I said before, you've got attacking, defensive. You don't even know which style of football their owners want to implement. That's the problem. They don't have a style of football they want to implement. So they're hiring managers here, not based off what they can do, but their name. Now, we hired Mourinho and we hired Conte, right? 2 managers here that the club itself cannot buy the players that they want or they need here to do anything successful. This is why they want Conte at the football club. I said, why waste Conte's time, bring him to the Tottenham Hotspurs after we watch Mourinho and see that the players that he wants here, you can't get, because really and truly, yeah, that's just wasting his time coming into the football club. That's why I said I washed my hands before Conte even come to the football club. Now, I hear the Tottenham people saying, "Oh, we want to get a good manager." Do you know what the consequences, TJ, of when Tottenham got Mourinho and Conte and after they left? Do you remember how many days we were looking for a manager?
Yeah,
72 days. 72 days. A world record, TJ, to look for a manager. This is why I
So-
said.
Sorry, so can I just add something? So hiring Conte, just because we're not going to get the players for Conte, that's not Conte's fault. That's our owner's fault. That's our owner's fault.
Right.
So,
So the
realistically, where is the ambition then? There's no ambition. If you're not setting a ambitious effort to at least back Conte, you're right. What's the point? But for me, it's not what's the point of hiring Conte.
Conte.
Go for it, Hans.
Like,
sorry, you haven't spoken for a long while.
Yeah, sorry, because they spent 72 days getting Nuno, and then the fans went ape shit. You know, I was at the Man United game. You know, started seeing Levy out. So the big solution was, despite not getting him in the summer because they wouldn't pay for his coaches, they had to change Nuno because they had to bring a big manager, not because they wanted to bring a big manager to back him and like Mourinho obviously. They did it as a kind of deflection, really, for 2 years.
Right.
It was kind of like a deflection. Like it gave us hope because we were like, oh, they brought in Conte. Like I love Conte, when he was at Chelsea and in Italy before. Like I think he's a great manager, but I knew at Spurs it probably weren't going to work out because we'll bring him in and we'll get some hope. Because what the club do, right? They give us a bare minimum to keep us interested, and then when we get too good, we'll sell off most of our players and then we'll start again. Now, TJ, in my opinion, we're worse than we were back in the 90s when I was a kid. Because back then, at least we had Ginola, at least we had Stephen Carr, at least we had some decent players. Now, I look at our squad, we have no number 8, like you told before. Our strikers are shit.
The left wing is null and void. You want to put an X there. It's null and void over there on the left-hand side.
Even Martin Jol in 2005 had Michael Carrick, Jermaine Defoe, Robbie King. I think he had some sort of spine there. And some playmaker, like even when he had like literally nothing to spend, he still had something. I look at our squad; we ain't got like might have Bergvall and Gray because I was arguing with someone on last word on Spurs in the group chat that was going on last night about this. He was like, "Yeah, we can play better football." I'm like, Bergvall and Gray, kids, bro. Like Sarr is not there. He's not that player. So when you don't play Bentancur and I keep saying Højbjerg in my head, sorry, because we're talking about content.
Paulinho.
The alternative is you play with either Gray, Bergvall, or Sarr, and they're not there. They're not ready. Like you're playing a kid and telling him run the game. Like I don't rate Archie Gray, but I kind of feel sorry for him. I don't think Bergvall's like there yet, but I feel sorry for him. Sarr, I just think we'll probably have to sell him in the summer, but I just don't think he's there. And then obviously our left wing is a bunch of kids, and our right wing we've got one player. I mean, because obviously it's Sol Johnson. Like there's holes everywhere, and the problem is if you don't give the manager anything to work with. Like I feel like I look at our squad and there's nothing there. Like there's literally nothing there. We might have a decent defense on paper, like with Van der Ven, we're our best player, but our keeper's a clown. I'm sorry, he's a clown. Like we're in absolute shit. Like last season was just like we kind of papered over the cracks really with the Europa League win. I'll be honest with you, it was a paper over the cracks.
It's true. It is papering over the cracks, but where is the ambition? See, this is the problem. So then when it comes down to it, sorry, can I just say something? You hire. I'm going back to the statement of hiring Conte. Yeah, it's not Conte's problem that the owners haven't backed him. Then this is the issue. The issue is the main problem is our owners. So we can't substitute nothing else. But look, realistically, if Conte is not getting his players, it's not Conte.
I agree.
No, I'm not blaming Conte. I'm just saying.
No one blames Conte, PJ. This is the thing. I'm not blaming Conte.
Saying the club do these things, bring in Conte, not because they want to back him or bring in Mourinho, not because they want to back him. They'll bring back Poch. You can say bring back Poch, but I'm not really going to believe they're going to back Poch. They're going to bring him back because they'll buy them 2 more years. Right. Because the fans will get brought back in. You know that phrase?
It's basically a smoke screen, isn't it?
Which one do you think you'll put out? They pull you back in, sort of thing, right? So when you
Yeah.
think,
Mhm.
oh, the club's done with Nuno, they brought in Conte. So then we're suddenly invested again because we're like, oh,
That's
they're gonna.
that's why I ultimately said at the start of the show. That's why said at the start of the show, sacking Frank or keeping Frank is not going to make the difference. You know, so that's exactly what I've come to the conclusion on Frank. Even if we sack him, or even if we keep him. Carry on, Harry.
Before Poch left, but since they knocked down White Hart Lane and then we sold Cole Walker, they've been put.
We
cut open the wound, right? In my opinion, and we put like a plaster on it, and then we cut it open again, and then put a plaster on it. And now it's like a flipping long cut down there.
The arm are coming off. I see it.
We are all in agreement. We are actually all in agreement that no matter what manager comes into Tottenham, the problem is still going to be the owners. So, guys, as you are hearing me, and I keep screaming this, ENIC out, protest on. You'll see me at White Hart Lane. Yeah. I'm protesting like I usually protest. Look, I got Levy out. Now it's time to get the owners out.
But TJ, my opinion for the next Spurs manager has only one selection, and that's Dynamo the Magician. Because every manager that comes into Tottenham Hotspurs, at one point at the beginning, they always say it, man. They always say it. I'm not a magician, so I've just gone down the route of Spurs need to hire a magician, so you might as well get Dynamo to come in and rescue and do the manager's job, really. Because it doesn't matter who the manager is.
The only successful manager in the time that I've been watching Tottenham, obviously I'm more younger than all of you, man, innit? Yeah, you guys are legacy compared to me. But Ange Postecoglou clearly was the only manager to win something under this stupidity ownership. So clearly it was a big mistake for him to get sacked. That's what I've come to the conclusion.
And then he went to Forest and he didn't win a game in like 10 games.
Yeah, it's true. It is true.
And we weren't playing Europa League this year, TJ. Last year we were playing Europa League. Yeah, we finished 17th. If we finished to play in the Champions League, which is a harder tournament, where do you think Ange would finish if he were concentrating Europa League, on the Champions League and tossed away the league this year? Where do you think Tottenham would finish, TJ?
Luckily enough, 17th place because there's 3 worse teams than Tottenham right now.
That's what you're hoping for.
But let me be honest with you, I'll be so honest with you. If we won the Champions League, I'm saying if I don't believe in it, but if Ange Postecoglou managed to win the Champions League, I don't care about 17th place.
I just can't see Tottenham winning the Champions League, mate. I'm sorry.
I can't see. I can't see it as well. You know what I'm trying to say, but I'm just making it. I'm just making it obvious. You know, no manager has been successful. Like I'm just stating, no manager has been successful under this ownership. You know, and the only manager that has seemed to be had some sort of success seemed to be one of the worst managers that we've had in the last decade. Think about it like that.
Ramos was successful, under this Ramos here in 2000 was successful, but the problem with Ramos here is in the summer that after we won the League Cup, basically Tottenham sold both our strikers, Robbie Keane and Berbatov in the same window, and brought in Fraser Campbell and Pavlyuchenko.
And what a player Berbatov was.
The club itself sabotaged my man. In that summer, this is what I said. I said you basically sabotaged the man before the season even started. So
didn't we sell Defoe that January as well?
I believe so, yeah. And then we brought him back under Harry Redknapp later on from Portsmouth.
Because they sold.
It tells you that the board have zero interest in winning, TJ. If they play Winners' Cup, it's irrelevant to them.
Postecoglou is the second worst manager in Spurs history when it comes from points per game. The only one is Ramos. Just facts, fellas. No, listen, I'm not disagreeing with it. Look, you were there. I wanted Ange out. Then I said after he won the thing, we might as well just give him until Christmas to see if he can change it around, because realistically, he's a success under this stupidity ownership, man. Like that Europa League win is going to last my lifetime, 50 years. The next time I'm going to see a cup is when I'm 50. The next time when you see a cup, you're going to be 70, 80, man.
Yeah,
like,
or meet our maker already. Yeah, one of those ones. We won't see Tottenham be successful, not under this ownership. So when I look at the ownership, all I can say is to sell up as quick as possible, because as a club, Spurs will not go anywhere under this ownership, because, like I said, they're too indecisive, and it's all about the money. You can see there's no plan whatsoever when it comes to the footballing side of it. So for me, the best solution for them is you can't have a project manager, because you charge too much as a football club. The fans ain't going to pay the top prices for a project where the manager's going to have to scale everything back, get really bad before he can get good, because he's got to identify where he's weak in the squad. And then you can't do a win now manager, because the club itself isn't in there. Yeah, it's not ready. And two, the players themselves don't want to join you right now, because there's no direction in the football club. So then what is left for you? If you can't have a win now manager, TJ, and you can't have a project manager, there is nothing left for you in the world of football. You might as well just sell up the thing and go. That's what I'm looking at right now.
That's factual. Facts. You're right.
The difference is, I hate to mention them to compare us to them, but the only thing I think of is Arsenal. I mean, God forbid they win the league, but what I'm saying is, when Arsenal brought in Arteta, I think a different scenario is Wenger was there for 20 years, right? They brought in Emery. Emery didn't succeed, so they thought we'll go for a project manager, in Arteta, because he's really a project manager. Now, their fans were like us, because they paid like really high season ticket prices. Of course, like ours are higher. And they went through that stadium change. It'd been like, 10 years, 11 years at that point. They suffered the same as us. I think the difference
with them. The difference with them, they actually had a connection with Arteta as well. Right. Let's make that very clear. So the time that they would give someone like Arteta and the time that we would give someone like Frank is totally different. And we have to make that clear.
And two, Arsenal were in the pandemic when Arteta first come into this, so the fans went in the stadium to voice their disapproval, while the first fans are very much there to voice their disapproval towards the team. That's another key difference
factual.
As well.
Factual,
he also won a trophy in the first season, so he had something to work upon. When he won the FA Cup, it bought him a bit of time, and the fact there was no fans also bought him time as well. So you have to factor them in.
But
that's all factual,
correctly, the Arsenal fans protested against the Kroenkes, which pushed them to spend eventually, obviously. But also, I think they came out and said they were backing Arteta, because remember, Arteta only finished, I think, what was it, 8th or 9th in this season or something? Like, he had 2 seasons, and then their third season they had their charge out of nowhere. So the club came out and basically said they're going to back Arteta. The difference is what Romero was getting out with his post is, when things are going badly, there's no one coming out. Like, it's not like about Vinay. He's not coming out and saying, we're backing Frank, we're going to go sign a couple players to help him through this bad spell, for example. I don't know. That's an example, right? But he's they're quiet. When things are going well, they speak. When things are going badly, they go quiet. That's what he was saying. So the difference is with Arsenal was their owners, I'm not saying they're the best, came out and said, we're backing Arteta, right? Our owners are quiet. When things are going badly, they're quiet. They don't
say nothing. Yeah, and you know what? Can I mention something? Talking about Arsenal in it, even if I wanted to give Frank time, even if I wanted to give this brother time, this brother was caught drinking out of an Arsenal cup before the damn game. Like, if that don't scream sack him now, then I don't know what screams it. Because for me, I actually feel like that's a massive look. It might on the surface level of how deep our problems are, it's over here, right? It's below surface. Realistically, you shouldn't really be, and it's only a damn cup. No, but for me, Arsenal, it's like on our enemies, our ops. You know, we've already got so many Arsenal people in this camp, like, and you know his response really annoyed me. He was like, "I didn't realize." Like, come on, man! Like, you realize these small things if you knew what it was to be a Spurs fan. These small things. See, this is the difference when I was talking about they have a connection with Arteta. Arteta knows what it is to be Arsenal. Frank doesn't know what it is to be Tottenham, personally. So if we're going to go with a project manager, and ultimately if Frank will, if the owners choose to sack Frank, because realistically it's turning into a fact. It's a fact that we're not improving. We're not, clearly. I think the only manager that could come in and maybe reconnect with the fans, and, you know, balance, you know, the Frankin camp is Pochettino. Yeah, it's Pochettino.
First and foremost, Thomas Frank here is a coach here. How much time do you think he's had on the training pitch to coach this season, TJ? Because really and truly, you have to factor here, he's playing 2 games a week. So we're playing Wednesday, Saturday, Wednesday, Thursday. So he's had hardly any time yet on the training pitch to implement his philosophies. So as a coach here, I don't expect him to coach many players this season, seeing that he's been playing games most of the year. So I would put that one back. And 2, with Pochettino, when he came in as a coach here, it took him months to implement his philosophy and his style of play across to the players. At the beginning, we were absolutely awful at the beginning. It was only after the Aston Villa game where Harry Kane scored in the last minute with the free kick here that turned it around there, and then we started to uplift. When Thomas Frank came in here, I said that Thomas Frank is a slow burner because he only time on the training pitch. The problem that we had there, right, is that because we won the Europa League, we qualified straight for the Champions League. So this poor manager doesn't even have time on the training pitch to implement any of his styles or philosophies on the players. And the players were brought in. This is where I say the club let him down. The players were brought in late, TJ. So so the pre-season was essentially wasted. The problem with Tottenham here is that they're so lapsadaisical. They do their business from the last week of the window. It's like they waste the whole summer, and it's the last week of the window they decide to pull their finger out. And then we signed Simmons in the summer, and we signed Mawani. Both of them, were panic signings because we didn't do what we were supposed to do in the beginning. We didn't buy what was needed. So Tottenham ended up panic buying, and bought those 2 players in. They didn't even look and see if they fitted Thomas Frank's system. It was just like, look, there's your players, get on with it. None of them solved the problematic position on the left-hand side. None of them solved the problematic position as left-back, because even before the season started, we said Spence can't cover the left and the right at the same time. Yet we had Edochie on the left-hand side and Porro on the right-hand side. Destiny Edochie is injury-prone. So therefore, he cannot... So Jez Spence covering for Spence. The Spence is covering for Edochie. Who's covering for Porro? So the squad was a week for a morning. So I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, I can't blame Thomas Frank for that. This is negligent from Lange, negligent from the technical directors. They're supposed to support the manager and put in the players that he needs to be able to implement some style of play.
The thing is, I don't think he will be given time. That's the honest. That's the honest. My honest opinion. And I generally don't feel like that the players are buying into the way we're playing as well. And yeah, you will say that he needs time to develop these players and make sure these guys are playing the style, you know. But damn, who the hell's that? Oh, it's a picture. It's a backdrop. It's a backdrop. I was thinking, what the hell? I just looked down and I was like, damn, like what is it come to? Back to what I was saying. Yeah, I don't think Tottenham will give Frank time personally. And that's also an issue. That's the issue. We have this issue because I don't think there's no time. We're already as low as it is, you know. You clearly said the reason why we bought Frank in was to stabilize the club, you know, and we're not stable. We're not stable. We're not.
I think this is the first season. Savage says it all the time, yeah, and I'll say it again. Right, this is the first season that Spurs don't have Kane or Son to cover them this season. There's none of them to cover them this season because over the years I've said it before. This is why I was when the time came, I said Kane has to go, yeah, because really and truly, Kane was actually like a crutch to Tottenham Hotspurs. They were hiding behind him. He was basically carrying the team, and so was Son Heung-min. They were both carrying the team along. Yeah, this team was bad, but but we could score with those two. Yeah, we knew we could score. It was whoever the defense could hold out. That was the problem with really and truly. This club should have built around those two. Instead, they didn't. They just cashed in on those two. And
we wasted so much money. We wasted so much money on players that didn't fit the system, or players that clearly wasn't the right prop, you know, I didn't have the same ambition. Look, that's the story of Tottenham. That's why me and you are Tottenham fans. we expect the same. Well gone, my friend. What are you saying?
James, you're right.
All right, how are you? All right? Everybody all right?
Yeah.
We're good, my friend. We're good.
I'm devastated. I'm just so drained, and I'm so fed up with watching Tottenham. I've just gone on to other stuff at the moment, like travelling and doing those overtime work. I was so pissed off on Wednesday, wasn't it? I just couldn't watch it anymore. I'm just getting so bored of it. And everybody, there's a lot of negativity on Twitter. I get the frustrations, but everybody goes, yeah, sack him. If we bring in this guy, the squad's still there, the shitty squad, I think. So many players in that squad just not good enough for me. I just feel like with the Richarlisons, the so many youngs, I just don't know how we get ourselves out of here. And every manager, okay. So if I got a question for all of you, three of you, how many in that squad would you keep? Tell me how many players you'd keep, and then name the players for me. Just anyone.
You know, asking me this question knows that I'll cut all of them guys. But I already know my players. Yeah, I already know my players. Realistically, if the plan, and this is why I was talking about Levy and what he said. If the plan was to go through the Champions League and win Premier Leagues, realistically, there's only 2 players I would keep.
2 players, Mickey Van der Ven and Kudus. That's the only ones you'd keep.
No, not even Kudus. Kudus don't.
Oh, come on. Best players
Kudus is not a title and Champions League winning player.
But the
yet
he's our best attacker, right?
Yeah, but that just speaks volume.
But this is the thing. When we had Kane and Son, I know you're going on there. This is where I get most of Levy and ENIC as a collective. They never built a squad around Kane and Son. Never built basic, because we had the squad there 2016 when we were winning the Premier League title. Nearly, right? I'm not going to say because we never won it.
Yeah.
You can see he had the team, but we never had the bench to fix it. To get me to go around it. And then it got all bad from there, because to the Champions League final, and Levy went, right, we're going to do this on the cheap, because I've done it for years. I'll do this and he kept on continuing with young players. That hasn't worked. So, but Frank's getting all this heat. I get why people don't like Frank. I kind of like him. But the problem is, if we bring Xavi in, he isn't going to work miracles to the squad. No one can. We've got to keep. We bought this 19-year-old kid from Brazil. That's not going to solve anything.
Yeah.
Because the problem is, we need to get players in now, like ready-made players. That's all I'm going to say, because I think, you know, this squad. I think next couple.
We need experience. We clearly need experience. We lack experience. We've got too many young players, and we're no.
Yeah.
See, for me, we definitely need experience, and we've got too many young players that we rely upon. And for me, like even up to the Bergvals, the Archie Grays, you know, you can say the Teletubby Tails, that's what I call him, you know, even the older bears, even if you don't put him in that crop, you know, we have too many young players that don't have experienced heads around them, you know, and this is a issue that we are facing, because we are relying upon these players to actually perform week in and week out, which, yeah, they get paid the big dollar, but let's be real, realistically, they're still developing in their game, you know. They're clearly far from what we actually need to do, you know. That realistically, that they're far from what we really want to do. And again, it's about bringing in real quality. And see, for me, I'm surprised our first signing is a left back. I personally would have gone with a midfielder, you know. We're seeing Conor Gallagher, links to Conor Gallagher, you know, Ruben Neves, you know, Ruben Neves. I feel like, look, obviously Gallagher is a step below. See, when I say step below, my true ambitions, this is what I'm saying. My true ambitions is to win the Premier League. If you want to know what I want to do, I want to win the Premier League. So a player like Gallagher is not a Premier League winner. That's my true ambitions. But realistically, where we are right now,
TJ, you can't just run. You have to learn to walk before you can run. You can't you can't be coming from 17th and just going straight to the
no, yeah, I know.
Along the way. And so if Gallagher is that level up here from what we are,
we have to go for Gallagher.
We need to step there, innit?
Yeah, no. You didn't let me finish. You jumped the gun. Right now, so I was just about to say, right now, we are nowhere near where we should be or where we should be going, right? So we have to step below. That's exactly what I was just going to say, but you jumped in and you thought I said, oh, but realistically, if we were going to go for the Premier League, Gallagher's is not the quality. But right now, we need players like Gallagher's. We need players like Ruben Neves. I think Ruben Neves will slot into this midfield, you know, easily, you know. And
the problem I have now today, in my opinion, is because of where we finished 17th and where we are in the league and what's going on around the club. What players are going to walk on to play for Spurs? Let's be realistic, yeah. So we either have to really overpay to get a senior player in, I think, at this point, or we're going to have to get someone there and gaslight them into some project and think, yeah, we're just here now, but in 2 years or 1 year, we're going to be back in Europe, for example. I don't know. I don't see any other way we're going to get a player. We're going to have to overpay or try and get cast-offs of other teams that players are not playing and just be like, okay, we'll give them a go.
To be fair, I think if we went to Fulham and went Sander Berg, do you know, the midfielder, the Norwegian guy? Yeah. I think, right, as much as we need better than that, I think in the moment we'd be perfect, and I think we can get him off Fulham's hands, because this is going to sound mad, but we are like the same level as Fulham because of where we're in the table. They're probably not better squad than us, but if we're going off of 50 million for Sander Berg, that what you just said about overpaying, I think that can work tremendously. That's just what I'm throwing out there, because he was at Burnley.
This is an Norwich win. We're going to have to overpay to get players. I don't understand
this squad, because we've got such a deep trouble. What we got, I remember everybody having a go at. You remember with Johnny Cardoso, right? The guy.
Cardoso. Yeah.
He would have been perfect for Spurs.
For this Tottenham, yeah. It's true.
Perfect, but he's gone to Athletic now. I think we should go and sign. Neves would be perfect, but what you just said, I think he would be absolutely stunning in this thing, because he would control that midfield. We need a.
You know what? And even up to players like Ivan Toney, you know, this is the market we're facing, you know, and because let's be so real. We're not attracting the bigger players. We won't be because the way the squad is, the way our ambitions are, the way we are, attractivity, the way, not even just that, the way the ownership is run, the promises, Romero saying they lie to us, that causes massive problems to our transfer plan. What player would want to put their future at jeopardy, So Ivan Toney's we need to go talk to. Ruben Neves, Gallagher's, and realistically, January window is a hard window to convince players to move hard, like midway through the season. That's another issue that we're going to actually face. But
I think we need to look at La Liga, perfect league, one of my favourite leagues. I think we need to go and get some of them who can just get their foot on the ball, pass it out. There's a couple of wingers I actually kind of like, but there's a manager I like in Espanyol called Gonzalez. He's from Espanyol. I think he'll be.
Espanyol.
Pardon?
No, I was saying Espanyol. I was saying it when you say Galar, when you were saying the manager, I was saying the team he was managing. Yeah, but carry on. He's managing.
I think it's not about the over the years. It's not about the money you sign. It's about the players you get. Because Aston Villa haven't spent a lot on their team, but they bought right, and that's what I think the problem is that we need to get. Yeah, we want to get to top players, and I think we can do that. But Aston Villa don't sign anyone ridiculous. They got Onana for 50 million. That's crazy, and he's been excellent for them. And they got Morgan Rogers from Middlesbrough. We need to start doing that instead of just going for we're going to go and get this guy from left back. We can do it with Spurs. I'm sorry, we were that top team a couple of seasons ago. We can do it. But the problem is that board, that scouting net, all needs to go. We need to bring in proper. I'll tell you what, right? You know who I'd love to see run the football side? Ralph Redknapp.
Ralph Redknapp.
He'd be absolutely perfect what we need right now. Because then he'll start convincing players to build that project. Get rid of Lange, get rid of Vinay, and get Radnick in. Because he'll be perfect.
The question I'm going to ask you guys then, obviously this window is it's definitely a difficult window. Let's make it clear. January is not an easy window to do business because players are halfway through their seasons. Some teams are doing better than other teams. Some players are clearly in good spots. It's convincing players to come to Tottenham. What positions are major that, like, if you were to say 3 positions, what positions do we have to address? And ideally, one other question, do you feel like Frank will be able to convince them to come to Tottenham?
Right now, yeah, TJ. Can I take this one right now, yeah, TJ?
Go for it.
Right. Look at the club, yeah, fully. Not just the Romero quotes from yesterday, not just the Van der Ven, not just the manager. We don't even know if the technical director is staying around. So, what player in their right mind is looking at this club and thinking, if the technical director who's negotiating whether I should join or not is not sure whether he's going to stay around after the window, why would I want to join to the football club? Because he himself is not committed to the football club. So why would I want to commit myself to the football club right now? So people have to understand this context as well. So I'm looking at this squad here, and I'm looking and thinking, right, the first position I'm going to get is a ball playing number 8 because you need that tempo setter in the midfield. Because you need that person to bring the defense from the ball from the defense to the attack. Because right now we haven't got that in our team. We haven't got that presence in the team. We need a leadership. This is another reason I said Conor Gallagher, because he's also a leader. Right? And Tottenham badly need that in the middle of the park as a leader. Right. And the next one I would say is a left back, a decent left back. I know we've got Sousa. But for me,
is that confirmed? Is that actually confirmed? Sorry, is that actually confirmed?
I think it's a here we go in the last hour. So
cool.
yeah, so But then again, he's going to be a hit and miss. We don't know how he's going to adapt from the Brazilian league, because remember, the Brazilian league is nowhere near the level of the Premier League, so that's going to take time for him to adapt over anyway. And then we're going to have, and then the last position I'm looking forward is a striker, a hold up forward. We badly need a hold up forward to bring the other players into the game, because every time the ball goes to one of our forwards, that's going to come back. The pigeon can't hold the ball up for Toffee. Chesney Hawk Solanke, for me, one of his one season wonder. He's not a hold-up player. And Mawani, I've never rated Mawani, and I support France, and I never rated Mawani. So all three of those man, it's no good to me whatsoever. I don't rate any of them.
It's true. It's true. You've been quiet for the last 5-10 minutes.
Sorry.
You need to speak up, man. You need to speak up.
My biggest issue is convincing players to come to Tottenham right now. I said, you're going to have to go out and overpay for players. And there might even be players that are like average players. Like, James suggested Sander Berge as an example. Or we need the left winger badly. And we just need solid players right now. I think going for these top players like Semenyo, I know it was a great idea. I'm not saying we shouldn't try. But it's a fairy tale. At this point, we're like back when I was a kid going to Spurs games in the 90s, getting bagged every week. But at least that team had someone like Ginola. It was somewhat okay, it's fine. But we need to start from the spine, and for me, that's why the central midfield is the most important. We need to go out and sign someone right now to fix
I agree.
least fix the midfield. And okay, we have all these injuries everywhere else with wide players, but at least you have a midfielder could keep the ball. I know it sounds so minimal. At least we can relieve the pressure.
I agree with you. No. I know. I agree. I agree with you. You know what? Look, obviously now we have the news that a left back
not had the best squad, right? But at least had Michael Carrick or Tom Huddleston who could keep the ball or spray and play the play. At least when Redknapp came in, everyone forgets this. He had Luka Modric. Bale hadn't even before that point.
Developed,
Poch had Dembele. We don't have that player.
Yeah, it's true. A midfielding player is very key for that's what it's ironic you said that, because what did I say against at the start of the show, a whole hour and 45 minutes. Yeah. I said our midfield is the anchor point of the problems that we have. Without an anchor, we are clueless. We are clueless. And let me be honest with you, you're right. We definitely need to address this midfielding situation. I think obviously we've now signed a left back, and cool. I have no clue. I personally, let me be honest with you, usually my ball knowledge about these players, I have no clue about who this person is personally. I need to go on Wyscout and do my little research, and then obviously release another video on my channel, innit? But I think the next signing has to be a midfielder. We have to address the midfielder in this January window, in my opinion.
And the problem is and this is the problem with our fan base, I think personally, is we're all obsessed with playing this attacking free-flowing football, which is great. My favorite time at Tottenham was watching Redknapp in terms of just watching us, right? Because we had, we were playing attacking free-flowing football, but we do not have the players to play that way, which is why Frank was playing so defensive, because he knows, I think he knows if he tries to play more expansive with Gray or Bergvall in there, we're going to get cooked. He saw Gray's mistake away to Forest. He knows. I think he knows that. But then we play Bentancur and Paulinho. I understand why we do that and let the other team have more ball, because we don't have the players.
Lads don't get it. Sign the best midfielder, play Europe while in possession. He will look great, but the only downside is he's on the ball. True.
Yeah,
we're in January, so how many players are we really going to get? How many players are we going to get in January?
I think realistically, 3 is a good. I think for if you was to say it was a successful window, 3 players would be ideal for a successful window, in my opinion. Obviously, well, let me make it clear. It's not just 3 random players. It's like 3 players that are of a good quality. Yeah, just so I don't get clipped up in it. But 3 players realistically is the real goal, in my opinion.
In the right positions, TJ. Yeah, not hitting hopes that that can be put in the right. That could be
19-year-olds. No more 19-year-olds, please. No more kids. I don't want any more kids.
Not round pegs and square holes in it, TJ. I'm hoping you're thinking of 3 players who actually go into the right positions that Tottenham have problems in. I'm hoping that's what you're saying, bro.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Thank you for correcting me. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. 100%. 3 players that go into the correct positions that we need, you know? And yeah, personally, I need to see a Ruben Neves or a Gallagher come in, personally, in my opinion, you know? And then obviously okay, cool. Now the question is, do we actually need a winger?
Yeah.
That's the question I'm just putting out there. Do we actually need a winger?
Well, now Kudus is injured. We definitely need a winger.
We need left side. Oh, our left side is absolutely gone because if Kulusevski comes back, I think we need left and right just as backup. As a quality. I think we need a striker and 2 wingers. I think we need. That's my positions.
But we're going to get a striker now. I don't know what striker is really available now. I don't know. Like
Ivan Toney.
Toney on loan. I don't know.
Tony said he won't come back until after the World Cup, after the summer, innit? He wants to finish. He wants to wait till the summer before he comes back. So that Ivan Toney one's out of the question. But yeah, I agree with you. They need to get a striker, but I just don't know where to go. But I agree. They do need the left winger and they do need the right winger. They need a right winger now because with Johnson being so. But this is another problem with Tottenham. They don't plan. There's no contingency plan here when they set a player. There's no plan from. It's no plan as into and TJ. You said it earlier with Conte, right? If you're going to bring Conte in here, have a plan for Conte. And if you're going to sell a player, have a contingency plan for when that player goes here, that you know that you're going to buy another player. When you look at Brentford, for example, or when you look at Crystal Palace, they'll sell a player, but they'll buy a player in that same position. So they swap like for like. When Tottenham do it, there is no plan or strategy behind it. Son left in the summer, right? That wasn't the problem with Son leaving. It was the fact that Spurs didn't buy a left winger. You didn't replace him.
Yeah.
And that was my issue.
We could have got Lookman, you know. We could have just gone and bought Lookman. And anyway.
Nah. I don't like him. I just feel like his attitude's poor. You can say that with Tony. When he was at Everton, he didn't really stride it. I know he was younger. It's hard, isn't it? But I feel like that we need someone, definitely a defensive midfielder, I think, to cover Paulinho or to play alongside of him. But I don't know why Frank doesn't play Bergville alongside Paulinho because he loves his Bentancur. I'd get rid of Bentancur in summer or do a Bentancur, swap you with Sander Berg. There you go.
Yeah, but the problem with Bergville, is that Bergville moves on 90 seconds a minute. He'll get the ball, but he'll give the ball away. He doesn't stop and think about his pass before he does it. Yeah. So it's like he'll get the ball and then he'll give the ball away instantaneously, or he'll go with the ball, then give the ball away, and then he'll be out of position. And then Paulinho will be one against the whole of their midfield, and then you'll see Tottenham get ripped apart because you'll be like.
Problem is, he gets it, either runs and then he just loses it, or he just tries. He tries to get rid of it. I don't know. I don't know what he's doing. I'm confused whenever I watch him play.
And that's Go on, Has. I'm gonna say that's a danger.
We need to buy a midfield. Like we so badly need to buy a central midfielder to come in and just solidify, like keep the ball. I know it sounds just keep the flipping ball and try and orchestrate attacks and like. Because, there's a reason why our through balls are the lowest in the league because we don't have a player ready to play. We
don't have nobody to transition from the defence to the midfield. Yeah, it's true.
Xavi's, I'm sorry, he's been poor since he's
dropped. Oh, bro, who told you about Xavi? Has. Let me make it clear. Yeah. I didn't want Xavi Simons. I said it when the links were happening. I was saying
Paqueta. Too young. Yeah.
No, I was saying. I think he's playing alongside poor players. That has allowed
No,
him.
I've seen too much of him. I've made my assumptions. He's a luxurious player, and we don't need a luxurious player. Look, he might be a good player. I'm not saying he's a bad player. I'm going to make it clear, maybe because a lot of people didn't see that stream when the context is Xavi Simons could be a good player for Tottenham. Yeah, I'm not saying he's not a good player. I personally didn't want him at Tottenham due to the fact that our issues is not the fact that we don't create chances. Well, we do create chances. We don't. Our issues are that we don't create chances. Let me make that clear. But Xavi Simons is more of a luxurious player, and we right now need a player that can actually work hard on and off the ball. You know, and that's a issue that I felt like Xavi Simons is. It's like Salah, for example. I'm not. They're not exactly the same players, but Salah is a luxurious player. Yeah, he might not do nothing in 90 minutes.
You just let him play wherever
you let him.
And then
you let him play wherever he wants.
Covers his when he's not. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I get
exactly.
it. I understand what you mean.
You understand what I mean, right?
Yeah.
We're not the team. See, this is what I'm trying to say. We're not the team that can afford to have a Xavi Simons in our squad right now.
If we were the team that dominated the ball and had control of the game, we could let, say 5 minutes of the game, 10 minutes of the game, the other team have a phase. And then what will happen is in that phase, maybe Xavi would score a goal or something straight after.
And let me just make something very clear so a lot of people don't get it mixed up. I'm not saying Xavi Simons is a bad player. I never said that. It's not come out of my mouth that I'm saying he's a very bad player. No, I'm saying that right now our issues are bigger than Xavi Simons. We need more. We need real players that are going to take the game by the scruff of the neck. That's why I'm saying players like Gallagher, play like Nuno. You get where I'm coming from. We need players that can actually perform in a bad team, in a good team, you know.
I'm going to help you, because I watched RB Leipzig there last season, and I watched Xavi Simons, and RB Leipzig struggled last season. And Xavi Simons went along with the struggle. He didn't step up here and say, well, Leipzig is struggling here. Let me be the man and let me carry the club up. He just went with the flow. And this is why I didn't want Xavi Simons, because I said, and the times get rough with Tottenham Hotspurs here. You're not going to be able to step up and stand up. And this is what the club needs, is someone to stand up.
Exactly.
You don't have that.
That's what I was saying. I was actually saying that during the summer. During the summer when we were linked, when we didn't get Eze, when we didn't get what is it called?
Gibbs White,
and we didn't get Eze. Yeah, my next person that I really wanted, and I knew it was unrealistic after going for Kudos, but I wanted Paqueta from West Ham. I really wanted Paqueta from West Ham, you know. Because realistically there was no options on the market, and I felt like that's the next option. And then obviously we got the move for Xavi Simons, right? And I think, look, let me make it clear, I think he's going to grow. I think Xavi Simons, look, we've signed him on a long deal. There is a future for Xavi Simons. It's just we need more men, not boys. That's if you understand that statement, then you understand where I'm going.
You need a leader.
Yeah,
we have no leaders. We have no leaders in this team. We have no leaders. Maybe Paulinho a bit. I don't know. I
thought Paulinho was the perfect signing for us. I'm actually still saying we should sign Paulinho out after.
My camp, TJ, we had that talk on that stream ages ago. Like with Xavi, I think it was partly a panic buy as well.
Of course.
Also, because he's at age, he's 22. I knew from the start he was going to struggle because of his physicality,
potential,
his style of play.
He's young.
He's bad. I'm like you.
No, but he's still young.
But he ain't the player to bring in at this time. Like
he's still young, like Archie Gray, Bergval, you know, Teletubby Tell. It's the same. It's the same script that we're going with, and then obviously now there's Suso. You know, it's the same script. So Ellie, Can you go on your
Yeah.
phone?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
Ellie put something in our group chat. It's something
Yeah, let me-
she just recently, and it's summarized. It's summarized this statement that we're making. It's like doing the same thing. I can't word it.
Over
I
and
can't
over
go on my
again.
phone.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
The definition of insanity is that what Ellie
Yeah.
put down?
Yeah. Definition of
The same
sanity.
thing over and over again, and hope
Over
for
again and
another
expecting a different outcome. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, something like that.
That's
Yeah.
Tottenham.
For the striker position, I'd go and get Dobbik from Roma. He's not paying a lot. Go get him for 30 million. He's stocky, he's big, he can bring others into the game. I think he'd be the perfect option. But going on Xavi Simons, I think he'd be right in the number 8 next to Maddison when Maddison comes back, right? That's what I think the plan should be for him, because then he can control it. As you can see, when he gets into games, he gets stuck in. And I kind of like that. We'll play a 4-4-2, right? Kinamawane, Richarlison, Odebert, thingy, and then go and get and then put Xavi and Paulinho in the middle. That could work. I could think that could kind of work, and then you have your creative, and then you got your backdrop. But I think he'll be good. I think there's players around him just not good enough. Going on TJ's point, but I think we need a goalkeeper often. How about a goalkeeper in the summer?
Bro, listen, clearly this is the first time you've spoken to me, my friend.
I've met you before.
Oh, have you? You've met me in person, or we've been on the stream together?
Ewan has. I've met you at the protest before.
At the protest.
Oh, big up yourself, my friend. Big up yourself, man. Sorry, man. Them years were a blur, man. Bro, them years of protesting were a blur in my head, man.
It was last February, by the way. It's only been a year.
Yeah, man. It was. At least we got the guy out.
Yeah, exactly. I've got my scarf ready. I've got my scarf still.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you saying about?
But yeah, guys, before we finish up, because it was 2 hours now, going to talk quick brief about the Villa game, and then we'll close it off. So, James, first of all, what do you think about the Villa game tomorrow? Do we have any chance?
No.
What do you think? No. Okay.
I just don't think we're going to win. I'm not. I'm at work, so I'm not going to watch it.
Oh, you're gonna miss it anyway. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't think we'll win, and I think it'll be 2-0 Villa, because I just don't think I think this is the last game of Frank. This is the touch on the point, and I just don't think. I think they're going to go for it. It's another chance for a trophy, and I feel like that he's going to put a ridiculous lineup because of the players that we've got, and I just don't see it going in the right way. That's just
me. We've got left. I don't think we've got left because Bergwell's injured.
15.
Ben was injured, I think. We're going to have kids on the bench, isn't it? Yeah.
Article and Paulinho, isn't it? That's the only two.
And Romero suspended, apparently. He got a 1-match ban or something. Someone wrote in the chat. Is that true?
Yeah, only the Liverpool game, he did violent contact. That's why he's got banned.
A 1-match ban, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think we'll win. I think Villa are going to be superior to us. That's sad to say. And 2-0 Villa, I think. That's my prediction.
So crashing up the cup. Okay. Phil?
Yeah.
I'm gonna follow James here. I'm gonna say a Villa win this win.
Yeah. Do you think it's Frank's last game?
You know what? I don't really. I'm not even factoring the results at the moment in time. I'm not going from one result to the other. I'm looking at it from a bigger picture point of view. I'm looking at it from of what he's got at his disposal and the fact of the games that he's playing. So I'm not going to say it's Frank's last game, but what I'm going to say though is when I look at the midfield tomorrow with Gray and with Paulinho, against Anana and McGinn. And this is why I'm saying I think Villa are going to win this game, and it could well be a 2-0, but I'm going to say I'll say 3-1. I think that's going to be a 3-1 win.
He's saying Dave's saying 4-1. TJ, are you going to delusional give us any hope or?
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna do the delusional thing, innit? Because you know what? For me, it's just been so negative, innit? And I'm trying to see the light. You know, I don't believe in anything I'm saying. I'll be so honest with you. From this point on, all those that are watching me, don't take the surface argument. Anything that I say from this point, I don't believe in. Yeah, But I'm hoping to believe, I'm hoping that we can get through to the next round, and, the only way to support this club is believing. And I'm hoping for a close game, 2-1, I don't know where the goals are coming from, and I don't know how we are going to score. Like I said, this part of the stream is delusional. Yeah. If you've just come back on it, I'm even saying everything that's coming out of my mouth is delusional. But I'm hoping, I'm actually hoping that we can win. Because I think it would lift the fans. Just see a win. Going, like, if we win against this team, we could go to the next round. And it's a good opportunity. It is a good opportunity. We're home.
Spurs are away, isn't it? It's at Villa Park, isn't it? This game, yeah.
No, we're at home tomorrow.
No, we're home. It's at home. Yeah, it's at home. I'm working.
If you're at Villa Park here, I would say allow Villa to come on to Tottenham, yeah, and then hit them, and then because you're at home here, the emphasis is on the home team to come out and attack you. I would say give Villa the ball and let them attack you, and then use the pace
play on the counter.
Run behind. That's what I.
Yeah, and play on the counter.
Right, exactly. But because we're at home, yeah, you can't play that way because the home fans themselves will never allow you to play on the counter attack at home. Because they were in the front, in it. So this is the problem. But this is why I say I can see Aston Villa win here because
ultimately, let's be real. Aston Villa will win this, but I'm not going to predict for Aston Villa to win because I really want to go to the next round personally. And
I think it could be a draw mainly because Villa might rest players and we could go to penalties or something.
And then go to penalties. Yeah. I hope that is the scenario where we could actually win in penalties.
I'm not joking. I could be because I think tomorrow is literally like I think Frank knows this could be his last game, and he's gonna just chuck everything at it. And you know what? The last two performances, whether they were bad or not, it's been a change of trajectory in terms of we've created more chances. Whether it's what we want to see as Tottenham fans, whether it's the standard, we have actually changed the way we are building up. We're creating more chances. We're not doing the 0.0 XG. So for me, I think Frank, we could win this, man. I'm just hoping. Please win. That's all I'm saying. And look, if you ask me why do I believe this, bro, it's all delusion. It's all delusion. But great.
I'm hoping for 2-1.
Anyone going to the game? Is anyone going?
Yeah, I'm going. I'm going tomorrow. Yeah.
I'm going to be outside the ground.
You're outside the ground.
Yeah, I'm outside the ground.
Also, before we finish up, James, are you on other podcasts or whatever? Or do you have a channel or anything? Where can we find you next?
I really want to set one up, but I haven't got the time. I'm working a lot, but I will set one up at the moment.
Set one up, man.
Yeah.
Set one up.
I love it. I love conversations and stuff. I really like that stuff. So I'm giving my opinion. I love giving my opinion. If you know me, I'm giving my opinion about Spurs because I've been a bit frustrated, and this helped me release my anger. I've got patience with you, mate. I was fuming yesterday. I was really pissed off the whole day. And I got people messaging me from work. Hey, you lost 3-2, and then they texting me pictures like the table and stuff. And these are my both deputy managers, right, on my phone, texting me. Yeah,
you're worse. You're worse. You know what? I have 2 Arsenal managers, and when Frank brought out that flipping cup,
I know.
My manager sent me the picture before the flipping outlet came out. I didn't even realize. I'm thinking, what? Some AI image, generic. My manager broke the news to me. That's how I have to deal with. And these men are just winning the league. Whew.
Hopefully they don't. Hopefully. Phil, I know you got a channel, innit?
Yeah, I got my BFG. Right, come on over. Me and Haz did an episode on Monday. We did a Digimon episode. I thought I'd just come on today to return the favour. Big up Haz here for that episode on Monday. And I thought I'd drop in a lovely joke as well. But yeah, thank you very much for having me on. I'm going to go on the 2 marks in a little while with my mate, the
he's live
Cookmaster
now.
and the
So
Sheriff.
guys, if you're believing us, go to 2 Mark show. If you even ask.
Right, and thanks for having me on. And TJ, nice to meet up. James, nice to meet up with you as well, mate.
Big up yourself, man. You're always welcome, man. Jump. We do the show every Friday, man.
Click on it, and it's fine.
We do a show every Friday, man, for the last 2-3 years, man.
It's 2-3 years.
Me and Haz been. Yeah, man. It's
nice to see you got close on TJ actually, because I see you.
Right, thank you guys.
Yeah, man.
Right.
Yeah, you know what?
I'm going to leave you guys there. I'm going to go join the 2 marks. So thank you very much for having me on.
See you later.
I'll see you guys later, all right?
I know who this guy is. Okay.
Yeah.
Take care. And TJ, you're kind of in it into Spurs. Please go subscribe.
Yeah, man. You know how it is this year, man. I'm releasing a lot of content this year. I'm keeping it up. I don't know how I'm doing it. Like every single damn. I'm doing a lot of content. Just in the works. I've got a new show coming out. But I'm gonna be actually doing the preview next Friday. So. That's what I was pissed about, man. I was meant to actually broadcast it at the start, innit? So that's in the works. So that me and Robbie will have a new show coming out, and that's going to be weekly. And yeah, man. And then every match, I'm going to be doing a match reaction. And yeah, man, just subscribe, man. Carry on following me. If you dislike what I have to say, use the comments. I'm a big cookie, man. Like, what I'm talking about. Yeah, I might be deluded. Look, no opinion's wrong. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, we have our own opinions about Tottenham. We have our own love for Tottenham. That's how it goes. And yeah, man, carry on subscribing.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's
no
okay.
worries, my boy. You're always welcome, man.
Yes, always in the chat. Yeah, always put it. So
I'll say,
yeah,
yeah.
You know what you need to do? Send our number. Send your number to the not the comments, to the chat that is on here. Yeah, private chat. And then you just add him to the group chat, man.
Yeah.
That's the best way, man.
Yeah.
Oh, let me do it now.
Yeah, that's the best way, innit? But yeah, look.
I don't have to set up a channel. I'm not very good at it, so I'm getting my dad to help me. Because with like StreamYard and stuff, so give me a bit of advice.
Yeah. Put your number in and we can add you to the group chat if you want.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Haz, you got any content coming out?
Well, until after the game tomorrow, we'll have some content. But yeah, so I have a match review after the game tomorrow. At some point.
Yeah.
Because it's a late game, so I don't know what time it'll be out. Probably it might even be out.
Yeah, it's always good. For me, that's what I find difficult. I actually find difficult releasing the video straight away. I'm always rushing and then.
I'm with you. Yeah, I'm always rushing.
I'm always rushing to like, and even like this last preview, bruv. Yeah. That last preview, there was so much shit that went down, bro. I missed out a few things like Bentancur getting injured. Like it's difficult. This is the first year I've actually decided to like release content. Yeah, proper. Yeah, it's been difficult, man. But we move, man. We move.
I don't think it's true. He's just
Frank's been stacked. So
no, he's not been sacked. It's just a joke. I know who it is.
Okay, fair enough.
I'll send it.
All right, take care, guys. Come on, you Spurs.
Yeah, see you later. Peace out. Come on, you Spurs.